Alright, guys. Now, we actually reached already halfway through our doctrine series. We already went through half of it. So today we're going to make a little pause and we'll start again next week. But I wanted to talk to you about something I really liked this week. I was going through some preachings that I really enjoyed, and there was something that I really liked and I wanted to share with you. So if you have your Bibles, either on your phone or an actual Bible, like the one right now, go to your YouVersion app.
Sorry.
Why are you all scared of the camera? You're not going to be in it. Don't worry.
As long as you'll be the entertainer in the background.
I know. So we're going to go to John. John 11. And so if you can, go there. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. So it says this. There was a certain man who was very ill. He was known as Lazarus from Bethany, which is the hometown of Mary and her sister Martha. So you already, probably you're familiar with the story of Lazarus. Most of you should. Do you know it? Lazarus? Yeah?
John what?
Rings a bell?
You said John 11?
John 11, yes.
You know what's cool about the Bible then?
And what?
It reminds you every day that you have to read the Bible.
It
Randomly,
does.
like randomly,
It
you'll be like
does.
asleep and then your phone, do you think you got a text message and it's like, don't forget to read your Bible?
Alright, so for those of you who don't know about Lazarus, we're going to dig into his story. Now, verse 2 says, Mary did a beautiful thing for Jesus. Mary was the sister of Lazarus. She anointed the Lord with a pleasant smelling oil and wiped his feet with her hair. So this is a story that is a very famous story. One time Jesus was at this dinner and suddenly this lady comes. She had a perfume. She pours the perfume over his feet and starts washing Jesus' feet with her hair. Now that was
Weird.
weird. Really
Why are
weird.
you washing my feet? Do they stink?
But it was actually something very humbling from her. Because the tradition was, you know, back in the days, all the roads were just dirt roads. So it was custom that you will get into someone's house, you will sit on the table, and the servants will wash your feet because they were all dirty, right? So they will wash your feet, put some oil in them, and just clean it. But no servant was doing that for Jesus. So this lady came, and she didn't pour water. She poured out perfume and oil. And she didn't use a towel to clean his feet. She used her hair. Her hair.
Oh, that's
Now,
nasty.
It is nasty, yes, in a way it is nasty. But in another way, it showed how much she loved Jesus. She didn't care to get
That's
herself
just
dirty.
crazy. Right?
No, and this is the thing. For the woman back then, the hair was her glory. Like, if there was something special in a woman back then, it was the hair. They usually had it like very long and beautiful. And it was special. But she didn't care to use her hair to wash Jesus' feet. So that was a very humbling thing to do, very honoring thing to do. So that's why the Bible right here says that Mary did a beautiful thing. Yeah, like it was weird. Everybody was like, whoa. But at the end it was like, wow. Now, on verse 3 says, before verse 3 says that her brother, that's Mary and Martha's brother, Lazarus, became deadly ill. So not just ill, but deadly ill. So the sister immediately sent a message to Jesus, which said, Lord, the one you love is very ill. Got lost here. Alright. The one you love is very ill. And Jesus heard the message. So, imagine this. You have a brother, you have a sister, and they are very ill. But Jesus is your best friend. And you know, one of Jesus' things is to heal people. He was famous for healing people all around. So you're like, man, good thing. I don't not only know about Jesus, but he's my best friend. And I did something awesome for him one time. So I'm sure he likes me. So I got some pull, right? So I'm just going to send a word to Jesus. Like, hey, Lazarus is ill. And I'm sure he's going to come and everything's going to be all right, right? Makes sense. Like, he's your best buddy. He's a healer. Your brother is sick. If you give him a call, sure thing, he'll come up and hook you up, right?
Yep.
That's what you expect. So that's where the story begins. So we have 3 people. Jesus appreciates them very much. They know it. So like, hey, send him a message. But they don't send a message and say like, hey, you know what? Lazarus is sick. Please come. No. The story says that they told the servants, go to him and tell him that he is very sick. And don't just tell Lazarus. Remind Jesus, Lazarus, the one you love. Just in case he forgot, right? Like, just tell him, Lazarus, the one you love is very, very sick. Now, I'm going to jump to the next verse. And it says that Jesus says the following. His sickness will not end in his death, but will bring great glory to God. As these events unfold, the Son of God will be exalted. That's awesome, right? That's what you wanted. Like, you send the message to Jesus, and clearly it's like, don't worry, this sickness will not end up in death. It'll be for the glory of God. That's like comforting, like, awesome. So yeah, we got what we needed. My brother was ill, send the message, and the response was awesome. He will not die. Everything's going to be okay, right? So I'm going to leave the story right there. And I'm going to push forward to the last part of the chapter. And then we'll go back to it. It's not a... I'm not going to mess up the story because you probably already know. Lazarus dies.
He does?
He does. So, sorry to break down to you like that, but he dies.
This.
So, let's go straight. We're going to go back to all the details. But I want to go straight forward to verse 45, all right? It says this, and I want to let you know that in every story, there are really 2 stories developing. It's not just your story. There's something else happening as something affects you. And it says that as a result, that is, once Lazarus died, and he actually comes back to life, so that's so cool. It says, as a result, many of the Jews who had come with Mary saw what happened and believed in him, that is, Jesus. So, Lazarus dies. At the end of the story, he comes back alive because Jesus tells, hey, wake up. And everybody started believing in him. But some went to the Pharisees. So you have a bunch of people right there at a funeral. Then he comes back to life. Like, oh my God. People stay there, but some people go. They just start running. They go to the big guys. And it said they went to the Pharisees. And they report what they witnesses. As a result of these reports, and on short notice, the chief priests and Pharisees called a meeting on the high council. What do you need a meeting for? Like, you have a guy who died.
Didn't people do that back then too? That's why they put the little string with the campanita when they would bury people because they were dead. And then they would wake back up and then start ringing the bell so they could dig them out.
No. That's very different. That was on the temple. Like the priest will go to the Holy of Holies. That's what the presence of God was. Some of them were not pure. Like they had a bunch of sins. They shouldn't, because they were the priests. They should have their stuff together. But some didn't. Some were doing pretty bad stuff. So they would die right there because you enter the presence of God. And some die right there. So that's why they had the campanita. So if he was moving around, you can hear the campanita. And then if the campanitas
Means they died,
No.
right?
stop, you're like, uh-oh, he's not moving anymore.
Didn't they drag him out with the?
Yeah, I think he died. So that's why he had the strength. So they used to pull him out. Like,
Oh, we hit the door.
yeah.
Let's try this.
So, but no, this is not the case.
Dude, that'd be cool
Like-
if they still had that. I'd tell somebody, run up here.
No. So this guy, listen. This is the thing. Don't miss a point. This guy dies. Jesus comes. He comes back from the dead. Right? And instead of celebrating that, some people went back to the authorities and they called for a meeting. What do you need a meeting for? Like, there's no need to do that. But it says here, so they got the meeting going on, and the Pharisees start saying, like, hey, what are we going to do about this man? And what do you need to do, right? He's performing many miracles. If we don't stop this now, why would you like to stop someone doing miracles?
They probably thought he was like something
Brutal.
like, yeah.
Now, we'll go to that. He said, he's performing many miracles. If we don't stop this now, every man, woman, and child will believe in him. So cool. They had some pretty cool. Forgot, like when they.
Good response.
No. That's not what they're trying to do. But they were smart. Like, oh, for real? They're gonna believe in him? Yeah. No wonder, right? He's
Oh,
bringing
you
people
think
back
that
from
that's
dead,
gonna
so
be
of
the
course.
loser, right?
And it says, but you know what will happen next if they start believing in him? The Romans will think he's mounting a revolution and will destroy our temple. And it will be the end of our nation. So they were more worried about the Romans, like, oh, what they're going to think, than, dude, Jesus is fulfilling the prophecies of your nation. You shouldn't be worried about it. But instead of keeping their eyes on Jesus, they started thinking about other stuff. They were thinking like, oh, people are going to start believing in him, so we're going to lose power. That was their worry. Because they were, back then, the high authority. Like, they were the priest. So if someone comes doing stuff they couldn't do, they're going to start paying attention to Jesus. And they're like, hey, so we're going to lose all the power.
Yeah.
They're not going to come to us anymore. That's what they were worried about. Now, Caiaphas, the high priest that year, said, you have no idea what you're talking about. What you don't understand is that it is better for you that one man should die for the people so the whole nation won't perish.
He already knew, right?
He didn't knew, but he was a prophet. He was the highest priest. So even he didn't knew, right there he got a revelation from God. And he prophesied what was going to happen. He was foretelling that Jesus was going to die and will go to the cross to save the whole nation. And then the next verse says, but not only the nation of Israel, but all the children of Israel were scattered through the world, so they wouldn't have to die. So, yeah, you have the story of Lazarus and his death, but there was something bigger going on. It was the story of our salvation going on. This happened a couple of weeks before Jesus went to the cross. And Jesus knew he had to go to the cross. So let's go back to the beginning of our story. And let's go back to verse 5. It says that Jesus dearly loved Mary and Martha and Lazarus. However, after receiving this news, the news that Lazarus was sick and about to die, he said that after receiving such news, he waited 2 more days where he was. Now, you were not expecting that.
How could I have?
Like, they sent a message. Hey, your friend, the one you love, is very sick and he's about to die. And then he's like, don't worry.
He just chilled.
This sickness will not end in his death. This will be for the glory of God. So they thought like, so he's going to stand up and go and heal him. But no. he decided to chill for a couple of days where he was. It's like, hold on, did I say it was Lazarus? Your friend? The brother of Martha and Mary? The ones you love? Yeah, I heard you the first time. That's alright. I'm still going to wait here for 2 days.
I'm just chilling.
Why?
Why not?
Like, it is your friend, he's going to die. But it said that he stayed there. Now, Jesus, speaking to his disciples, told them after 2 days, it is time to return to Judea. But the disciples told him, Teacher, the last time you were there, some Jews attempt to execute you by crushing you with stones. Why should you go back? I mean, they had a good point. Last time you were there, we almost died. Why do you want to go back to those crazy people? But Jesus told them, there are 12 hours of daylight, right? Like, yeah. All right. If anyone walks in the light, that person does not stumble because he or she sees the light of the world. But if anyone walks at night, he will trip and fall because he does not have the light with it. Like right now, you're like, no, we can walk perfectly by night. Yeah, because we have light. Back then,
They had no light.
no light. Like you can turn out the switch. So that's what he was telling them. If you walk in the dark, you'll probably trip. But then Jesus briefly paused and said, our friend Lazarus has gone to sleep. So I will go to awake him. But the disciples were like, but if he's sleeping, then he'll be alright. Like, like when you're sick, what they usually do, they give you some pills,
You
go to sleep.
Wake up.
Whenever you wake up, you're going to feel better, right? Because you need to rest. So they missed it like, whoa, alright, he was sick. The last thing we heard is he was sick. And right now he's sleeping, so why bother him? Let him rest, right? Imagine being Jesus, like, he's dead, guys. Like, I'm just using different words, right? Like, come on, don't be slow with me. So Jesus used the word sleep as a metaphor. So when Jesus saw that they didn't get it, he didn't want to say like that, like he's dead. He wanted
I
to
would have been like, he's thinking already, dude.
yeah, he didn't want to be rude like that. So that was like, he said, he's sleeping. But they didn't get it, so he went, tell them plainly, guys, he's dead. That was on verse 13. Now, we can continue. It says, Lazarus is dead. But this is weird. The next thing Jesus says is really upsetting. And I'm grateful. Like, what? Basically, like, are you happy he's dead? But then he says, I'm grateful for your sakes. That I was not there when he died. Like, why? Now, like he died 2 days later, he knows he died. Now you will see and believe. Gather yourselves and let's go to him. Like so far, the disciples have been walking with Jesus for 3 years almost. They have seen him do great stuff, awesome things. But so far, they haven't seen these. Like, his friend is dead. Like, dead. And he allowed that to happen. But he's like, I'm glad that happened. And I'm glad we're very late. Because you're about to really believe. Like, it happens to all of us. Sometimes there are things you believe. Like, yeah, I kind of believe that, But then something else happens, you're like, nah, maybe it was a coincidence. But no, this was going to be so huge that they would really believe. And nothing will make him disbelieve. Like, this was going to be so big that it will change their lives. So, verse 17 and 18 says that Jesus was going back to Bethany, the town, and he heard that Lazarus has been in the tomb 4 days. 4 days. There's a saying in Mexico. It says that los muertos y los arrimados después de 3 días apestan.
El muerto y el arrimado.
Versión oficial. Revisada. So, it was 4 days. That guy was dead and stinking. Says that now many people came, from different towns to Mary and Martha, to give them their condolences, right, and to be there for them. But then Martha heard that Jesus was coming, so Martha went to meet Jesus, and it says that Martha tells Jesus, she finally reaches Jesus, and this is cool. She was not angry, or she was not like, oh, I don't believe you anymore, Jesus, because you failed me. No. She was holding it together. But she said, oh, Lord, if you had been with us, my brother would not have died. So she knew the power of Jesus. She knew, man, if you would have been here, he would be all right. Even so, I still believe that anything you ask of God will be done. So she had big faith. And Jesus tells her, don't worry, your brother will rise to life. And she's like, yeah. I know. In the days to come, in the future, when we all get to heaven, right, he will rise again when everybody's resurrected on the last day. I know, when everyone goes to heaven,
God's like, nah, look.
He'll come back up. But Jesus is like, no, don't miss this, Martha. I like you. You know some theology, okay? You have some knowledge, but don't miss it. It's not that I can resurrect people. I am the resurrection. I am the resurrection and the source of all life. I am. I cannot do some tricks. I am the trick. I am the thing. And those who believe in me will live even in death. What? Everyone who lives and believes in me will never truly die. Do you believe this? And she was like, yes, Lord. I believe that you are the anointed one, the liberating King, God's own Son, who we have heard is coming into the world. So she knew, she really trusted him. After this, Martha ran home to get Mary, the sister. So Martha goes, and imagine Mary, she's among all the people, and everybody's crying. She just goes and whispers to Mary. And she's like, come with me. The teacher is here. And he asked for you. Imagine how she felt. She didn't hear from anyone else. Oh, no. Jesus is here. And he's asking for you. So I'm sure she was really happy about that. I'm sure, she must have felt something like, oh man, Jesus wants to talk to me privately or something. And Mary did not waste time. She got up and went to Jesus. But then people saw her, she just went up and started running. She's like, where's she going? So they went with her. They thought that she was going back to the grave and cry some more over there. So oh no, we better go with her before she does something crazy, right? So they went along with her, and Mary finally gets to Jesus and says, Lord, if only you had been here, my brother will still be alive. And when Jesus saw Mary's profound grief and the moaning and weeping of her companions, listen to the next thing. It doesn't say that Jesus lectured her. Oh, Mary, I'm Jesus, all right? All right, I'm Jesus. I know you love your brother, but I'm Jesus, all right? And I'm still here. And I'm going to die on the cross in the next couple of weeks, so why worry about Lazarus? I mean, no, he didn't do that. He could have given them so many lessons. But it says that Jesus was moved by that. He knew Lazarus was going to come back from the dead. He knew it. That was the plan. But still, he was moved. And it said he was deeply moved by their pain in his spirit and was intensely troubled. It affected him. Where have you laid his body? And they say, come and see, Lord. As they walk, Jesus wept. He didn't give them a lecture. Even he knew what was coming on. He was still touched by them. So I want to tell you, whenever you're going through problems, I know sometimes you might have the theory, like, oh yeah, I know this is part of a bigger plan. Yeah, I know it. Like, I know the story. But you're still a mess, right? Like, if someone hurts you, you're still a mess. You're still crying every night. You're still wondering what happened. Why he did this to me. Why she did that to me. How come my father told me that? Hey, why? Like, I remember the times I was hurt the most was not from, whoever, a stranger who said something. No. When something really hurt me, for example, when my dad said something to me that was pretty, mean or whatever. If he said something that hurt me, that would mess me up. I didn't care if, someone else did. But if my dad said something to me, or my mom, or brothers, or, your girlfriend or your wife, if they say something mean, that really hurts. And you might, I don't know if maybe it has never happened to you, but you will really, cry, even if you're a guy. Now you'll be in your room trying to think, what happened? Where did I went wrong? How come I didn't get this one right? I disappointed them or blah, 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 blah. And you can just start, going crazy. And it affects you. And you might know the theory like, well, but I know Jesus is in control. But you're still a mess. It doesn't change the fact. If someone dies, like in the story, you're still going to cry. Even if you have this faith and hope that you will see them one day in heaven, that doesn't make it better, right? You're still going to cry. And I just want you to know this. Jesus cried with them. He knew what was going to happen 30 minutes later.
It's the fact that somebody died.
But still, he was touched. And I just want you to know that when something happens to you, he cares. He's not a cold God sitting far away in heaven and going like, don't be a little baby. It's going to be alright. Like, he's not like that. He's not like that. Jesus cares. And he said that he cried. And it says here that he was intensely troubled. Some other versions said that he was really mad. Like, alright. Like, he cares. For you, he cares. So, verse 36 says that everyone noticed how much Jesus must have loved Lazarus. Just by seeing his reactions, like, oh my God, like, I never seen him cry before. He must really love him. And except that others were skeptical. And those other people who were skeptical started saying, like, if this man can give sight to blind, he could have kept him from dying. So they didn't trust him in resurrecting him, but he was like, if he would be here, he would probably heal him. But now it's too late, right? That was their position right there. And look what they were saying. If Jesus really loved Lazarus so much, why didn't he get here much sooner? He could. Who did he think he is? Oh, and hypocrite. Yeah, I love you. And you didn't show up? Like, oh, that's so mean. That's what they were saying. But then Jesus stood there in front of the tomb. And he was intensely troubled by all of this. And he approached the tomb. And he tells everyone, remove the stone. But everyone was like, no, what are you talking about? Remove the stone. Lord, he has been dead 4 days. The stench will be unbearable. Like, imagine, you have a little cave, and it's sealed. It's a little cave. It was not like, mountain. It was just probably like a little room, and he had a stone on top and a dead body inside of it. Imagine when you uncover that. All the smell will punch you like, I don't know, Mike Tyson. Oh my God, that stinks. Right? And yeah, they were like, no, don't move it. It's going to kill us all. But he was like, remember, I told you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God. So they had no option. So they removed the stone. And Jesus lifted his eyes toward heaven. And he prayed, Father, out loud, I am grateful that you have heard me. He was not saying like, I know you will hear me. No. You already did. You heard me. I know that you are always listening. But I proclaim it loudly so that everyone here will believe you have sent me. So you see, there was a purpose right there. After these words, he called out in a thunderous voice. So he was like really, really loud now. And he basically screamed, Lazarus, come out!
Did he tell him to wake up?
Yeah. And then everybody must have been like,
Was his body rotting though?
that's what you'll think, because everybody thought that. Like, he'll be rotting, he'll be like, but no. Like, Jesus' power, the power of God, either kept him or restored him right there. Either or. I have no clue. But it said that Jesus called him out. And imagine, this guy, he was not just like, right now they put you in a nice suit or a nice dress, makeup on, looking good. You're just sleeping, right? Back then it was not like that. They would wrap you up. Not like a mummy in like what they did with Egyptians. It was different. But you'll be like that, and they will just wrap you up. They'll put a bunch of stuff on top of you to prevent a little bit the smell as much as possible. So they will put some oils and some flowers and stuff in there, so it wouldn't smell that bad. So he was all wrapped up. And even in the face, they put kind of like a cloth on top. So imagine him. Imagine when he wake up. Imagine you're feeling bad, right? And you're in bed.
You're all right.
And next time you open your eyes and you have all this stuff, and they're like, oh my God, where am I, right? It's all dark. You're in a cave. He must have freaked out. I'm pretty sure about that one.
I am dead.
Like, I died?
Yeah, like, what happened?
I thought I fell asleep.
But he said that, and I have no clue how he came out. Like, I don't know if he was like, or he was just rolling. I don't know how he did it. But he managed to go, like, probably jumping little steps, or I don't know. But he managed to get out of there. That was so funny, probably. And creepy and scary as well. Like, oh my God, a dead guy. But yeah, like The Walking Dead. But it said that he finally came out. He says, the man who was dead walked out of his tomb, bound from head to toe in a burial shroud. Like I told you, they were tied up, so he managed to walk out. And so the story just didn't end right there. Oh, good. He's like, let's go home. No, he still needed stuff to be done. And Jesus told everyone else, untie him and let him go. Untie him and let him go. Now, same thing happens in our lives. The Bible says that because of sin, we are dead. So if you have a friend and you're thinking, oh man, I want to talk to Jesus. I want to talk to him about Jesus, and hopefully, he'll become a new person and he'll accept Jesus or whatever. If that happens, whenever that happened to you, whenever you did the prayer and right, I'm a sinner and I need to repent and I need Jesus. I need someone else to save me. The story doesn't end there, guys. Like, yeah, cool. I'm a Christian. I'm a new guy. I'm ready to roll. Like, you sign something probably on Bible school, summer Bible school. You're not going to go with that little diploma all the way to heaven. Hey, I signed it. I'm good. Can I enter? That's not how it works. This story here shows us that the Christian life is a progressive thing. Yeah, you were dead. Now you're alive. That's awesome. But you have so much stuff in you from your past life. You have so much habits. You have so much friendships. You have so many things going on. You need to be set free. But how many of you know a junkie or an alcoholic? Yeah, like a drug addict. Like, you know. And how many of you would like for them to be free of that? Like, I love you. Like, you're my friend. But I hate to see you in this, you know, all messed up, high, stupid, whatever the condition may be. Or you wake him up one time and you saw he'd throw up in himself or being himself. Like, dude, that's nasty. I love you, you're my friend, but I hate to see you like that, right? Right. If you get to the point where you actually tell them about Jesus, and they do come to Jesus, they still like to drink, probably. They have the need of a drug. Or we were reading a book, and there was a chapter about pornography. And pornography is the same thing as a drug. Like, you do get addicted to it. And studies reveal that you have the same reaction from pornography that you get from drugs. Like, it does the same chemical things in your brain. So you get addicted to it big time. So whatever the case may be of your friends or yourself, yeah, you might be a Christian now, but you still have your old ways. So you need to be set free. And that doesn't happen by itself. Jesus told them, untie him, set him free. So you need to understand that being a Christian is not a one-day thing. It's a day-by-day thing. It's a day-by-day. And you will continue to progress and walk till you meet Jesus in heaven. But every single day you live in this life, you're a work in progress, all right? And you cannot do it on your own, guys. This is so important. That's why we always tell you about community and friendship. It's not about being alone. To be able to get rid of all those habits of, you know, all those things you used to like, you're going to need some friends, some godly friends to help you along the way. If you cannot, if you're, you know, trapped in porn, you have to tell someone about it. You know what? Don't freak out, but you know, I cannot stop. I have tried to stop, I cannot stop. I like drinking. And not casual drinking, but I really like to get wasted. And I know it's wrong, and I want to stop. I can stop, man. I need help. Or whatever the case may be. I like to fool around with girls, and I know it's wrong, but I cannot help it. I'm a man, which is no excuse, by the way. But I cannot help it. Like, you need help. And you will be able to conquer all those things, but not on your own. So, to close, I just want to remind you, Jesus cares. Whatever you're going through, Jesus cares. You're not alone. He cares. And second, don't think because one time when you were little, you made a little prayer, you're good to go. You're not. We all need to keep working on it day by day. And we need each other to do so. Alright? So let's close our eyes. Jesus, thank you for your word. Thank you for your love. Thank you for reminding us that you do care about us. And that even when everything seems crazy and seems like we're in the middle of a hurricane, you are in control. And even when things don't go the way we planned, you are still in control. And even when we think that our situation is dead, you can bring things back to life. So thank you for reminding us about that. And allow us to continue in this journey, not alone, but with good friendship. Help us to be a good community of friends, of brothers and sisters, in the name of Jesus. Amen. Any of you guys have a question about it?